Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I hope you all are doing great. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support. I truly appreciate you all. And if you are new to my channel, you are highly welcome to Tasty City. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscription button to become part of this tasty family. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to make seafood okra soup. This soup tasted so delicious. So if you're interested to see how I made this, then please stay tuned and keep watching. Okay guys, so these are my list of ingredients for this seafood okra soup, and here with me I've got some HAKE fish. You can feel free to use any fresh fish of your choice, but I prefer to use HAKE fish because it is tasty. Secondly, it has texture unlike other fresh fishes. Thirdly, this fish, when it breaks inside the soup, usually it breaks into chunks, unlike other fresh fishes which we just break into pieces and will literally disappear inside the soup. But you can feel free to use any fish of your choice. So next with me here, I've got some cooked shrimps, and this shrimps has been thoroughly cleaned and washed. Yeah, so apart from taking off the head and the shell, I think that is what it is called, but if not, please correct me in the comment section because we are all here to learn. We are learning every day. So apart from taking off the head and shell, you have to cut the shrimp open and take out the vein. As you can see, mine is properly cleaned, so please make sure you clean yours properly. So next with me here, I've got my homemade smoked mackerel, and I have a video on how to do this, so I'm gonna be leaving the link in the description box below so you can check it out later. In here, I've got some stockfish fillet and some dry fish. Here, I've got about a quarter cup of blended crayfish. In here, I have 1 kilo of okra, which I have processed into 3 different ways. So the ones that are more greenish are hand cut, while the one that is a little bit darkish was grated. But you can feel free to cut your okra anyhow you want them to be. For my vegetable, I'm using fresh spinach, but however, you can feel free to use any vegetable of your choice, such as pumpkin leaves or kale. Here with me, I've got a combination of chopped Scotch bonnet peppers and red bell pepper. The red bell pepper here is optional in case you choose not to add it. In here, I've got 1 chopped red onion bulb. In here, I have 1 tablespoon of blended Okpehe. And in addition to the Scotch bonnet pepper I showed earlier, I'm also going to be adding 1 tablespoon of blended dry pepper. I don't like spicy meals, but when it comes to seafood okra soup, I like mine hot and spicy. Here I've got some red palm oil, and I'll be using about 1/4 to 1/2 cup. In here, I've got some salt to taste and 2 types of seasoning cubes, which are related to sea because we are making seafood okra soup. But you can feel free to use any seasoning cube of your choice. But for me, I can't be making seafood okra soup and I'm adding chicken seasoning cube or beef seasoning cube. So what I have here is some shrimp seasoning, also known as Maggi crayfish, and fish seasoning. So the other seasoning cube I have here, this is how the pack looks like. So now that you've seen all the ingredients we'll be using to make this seafood okra soup, let's get cooking. To begin this recipe, we'll start by cooking the stockfish fillet, dry fish, and HAKE fish. So I'll be transferring everything to the pot. Okay guys, so in addition to the seafood I showed earlier, you can also go ahead and introduce more seafood to yours if you prefer, maybe like crabs if you like them. But for me, I'm not a fan of crabs. Like, if you give them to me free, I'm gonna tell you thank you. So yeah, you can feel free to add more seafood to yours if you prefer. Okay guys, so once that is done, I'm going to be seasoning the fish with the 2 seasoning cubes because I want the fish to be properly seasoned, because I'm going to be adding about 2 to 3 cups of water to this fish because I want some stock for the soup. So next I'm adding some salt to taste. Some of the chopped onion, and I'll reserve the rest for later use. So lastly, I'll go ahead and add in the head of my smoked mackerel because I want the flavor to infuse in the stock. So now I'm just going to cover this up and allow it to cook down on a medium heat for at least 10 minutes. So while that is cooking, I'll just quickly debone the smoked mackerel. For me, okra soup without smoked mackerel is a no-no. Whether normal okra, oilless okra, seafood okra, as long as it is okra soup without smoked mackerel fish is a no-no. And for me, boiled mackerel in okra soup is a no-no as well. It must have to be smoked mackerel. Guys, this is just personal preference, and of course you can feel free to do you. So here I have my smoked mackerel fish all deboned. I'm just going to set that aside and then we move over to check our pots. So the pot has been boiling for 10 good minutes, and at this point I'll be taking out the fish because fish does not take time to cook. And when I'm done, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of water to the pot, and I'll cover and allow the stock fish and dry fish to cook further for additional 10 minutes because they are more tougher than the fresh fish. While that is cooking, in another pot I'll be adding in some oil, and once it heats up I'll add in the remaining onion and I'll saute for about 2 to 3 minutes. After sauteing the onion for 2 minutes, at this point I'll go ahead and add in my Scotch bonnet pepper and bell pepper. Next, I'll be adding in equivalent to 1 tablespoon of blended crayfish, and I'll reserve the rest for later use. And I'll go further and stir fry this for additional 2 to 3 minutes. Now, what we are doing here is creating the base for our seafood okra soup, and guys, this smells so amazing. Okay guys, so at this point I'll go ahead and pour in our fish stock, fish fillet and dry fish to our sauteed sauce. Next, I'll go forward and add in some water to rinse the pot, and I'll add that in as well. The quantity of stock I have here won't be enough, so to that I'll be adding 1 cup of water. Now you can go ahead and add the stock according to the quantity of soup you are making. So now I think I have enough stock. So next I'll be adding in my blended dry pepper and okpehe. Next I'm adding the crayfish, the smoked mackerel, I'll give it a gentle stir, cover and allow it to cook down on a medium heat for at least 8 to 10 minutes. So this is 10 minutes later, and at this point I'll be adding in the okra and I'll stir that in until the okra loosens up. So once that is done, the next step is to add in the shrimps, and the shrimps I'm using are already cooked, so I don't have to cook them for too long. So I'm just going to stir that in and then add the fish. So at this point you have to be gentle when stirring in order not to break up the fish. So I'm just going to be giving it a gentle stir. I'll taste for salt and add more if needed. Okay, so my seasoning is perfect. I'll just let the okra cook down on a medium heat for 5 minutes and then I'll add in my spinach. Okay guys, so this is 5 minutes later of cooking the okra. So at this point I'll just add in my spinach. I'll turn up the heat immediately because I don't want to overcook the spinach, guys, and we are done cooking. Yes, our seafood okra soup is ready. Alright guys, so I'll just gently stir in the spinach and then I'll be back for us to see the final result. So there you have it guys, our seafood okra soup. This soup was the bomb, like it tasted super delicious. If you like the video, please be sure to click the like button, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe for more tasty and delicious recipes. I want to say a big thank you to you all for watching. Stay safe and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.